Well, I want to go over real briefly what got me into using the HHO in the hydrogen water for breathing, and also taking it through the water itself. In other words, breathing the gas and also drinking the water. The first thing, I'm going to tell you honestly, I've looked into a lot of different things that, I know about DMSO, hydrogen peroxide, which can be beneficial. You can take hydrogen peroxide baths. You can also take a few drops of hydrogen peroxide in water. There's the DMSO internally, externally, vitamin D, vitamin C, high doses of vitamin C, high dose of vitamin D with K2. There's magnesium, coconut oil, borage oil, various types of boron. There's so many different astragalus root, gotu kola. So many different things out there that are the wonder of the world, right? So I knew about the hydrogen, I knew it had benefits, but I never really looked into it that hard because I knew about this for years. The first thing I wanted to try was just a simple water bottle. This is something, if you want to get into it cheap, this is probably the cheapest way to do it. Go on Amazon, get yourself, see it's made in China. Get one with the membrane, PEMF, I think it's something like that. It's the technology that has the membrane. It only puts the hydrogen in the water, because when it's making the oxygen side, there's no filter to take out the impurities. Like when I'm making hydrogen HHO, it has oxygen in it. It's being purified through two of these things, so that's why it's okay. If you're making it just in a water bottle, I think now they pretty much all have the membrane. The first thing that convinced me, when I was drinking this water, it didn't seem like it was doing that much. Then after a while, I thought, yeah, it does kind of give you energy, but is that really me, or was it just my imagination? Well, on my upper lip, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, I had this cut from shaving, a little tiny nick, and it turned into a growth. And it wasn't like a scab, it was a growth. It would get a little longer and bigger, and if you try to cut it, there was blood vessels in it, and it would just bleed. It was like a little growth on my upper lip. It originally started as a cut from shaving a few years ago. What I did was I took this, I had the water in here, and I had it on, I was turning it on, there was some little bit of hydrogen gas coming out of it. I put this, I took the cap off of it, and I put the mouth of this over my whole mouth, including my upper lip. And I did that for several minutes a day. And lo and behold, after a few weeks, that growth, most of it flaked off. It was like drastically reduced. And I says, holy smokes, I says, this thing is working. This thing does have effect. So, I mean, you could even take this, say you had a problem on your skin or something right there, and you put the mouth of this over the skin, you had some water in here, and you had a minute amounts of hydrogen, that could do something a little bit. So that gave me the reason to see it really works. So then I had this unit, and actually I picked this up. I was going to put this together for Gold Digger the cat, who had cancer, and now in retrospect, I should have really done this. I really should have went on. I could have done some more, I guess, but I don't know, man. I was scrambling like crazy trying to save her, and I didn't realize she was an older cat and all this kind of stuff, and she looked so perfect in June and July, and all of a sudden, wham! But I also determined that the carbon C60 I was giving her was keeping her alive. And one of the things with carbon C60, it works like a battery, a storage and transportation mechanism for hydrogen. It doesn't create hydrogen, but it keeps the hydrogen stored when you need it, and it goes throughout all the body. And it also helps detoxify. I probably could have saved her with this HHO and hydrogen stuff, this stuff. Didn't realize that, though, at the time. I didn't realize how effective this is. So I put this together. I started doing this in December 20th, 2019. So right now I think it's January 26th, 25th or 26th, something like that. And Saturday of 2020. So I've been using this stuff for about a month and a little over a month, right? Not even a month and a week. So what I could tell right now is I do have more energy. And there was a problem I had on my right foot, on my middle toe, that has been there for years and years and years and years. That's one of the reasons I was always using an elliptical machine since like 2007. Got out of running and walking a lot because that bothered me after a while. A lot of that problem went away. Not all of it, but in a month, good portion of that problem went away. So I'm continuing on with this. Where I think this is going to get out there is if people do not push any kind of medical claims or anything like that, although I think there's going to be tons of medical things this thing does. And now I'm using that thing that's the Chinese welder. That's for $125. You'll look at another video. I'm not using this anymore. And I'm actually breathing the gas probably a good 2-3 hours a day. So I just started doing that with breathing the gas 2 or 3 hours a day maybe a couple weeks ago. So maybe there's going to be a lot more benefits kicking in. But this is where I want to get on with talking about this, where the strategy needs to be cosmetic purposes and energy. If you start making claims on medical, you're not going to be able to sell these devices or anything like that, even though there's loads of stuff out there in studies that they're using in China, Korea, Japan, and elsewhere except in America, that hydrogen and HHO and electrically expanded water, which is included in the HHO, is vastly beneficial to the body. So, but the strategy probably needs to be this is the way I would do the strategy. I would only emphasize cosmetic purposes and energy. So, where I think the main market for this is going to be for women, because women are usually concerned with, age spots, wrinkles, psoriasis. And I heard of cases where the people were breathing the HHO or applying the gas locally or whatever, or drinking the water. I forgot what the method they used, but the woman got rid of cellulite that was on her thighs. Now, when you're making claims for cosmetic purposes, that's a lot safer area than making claims for medical purposes. But if there's loads and loads of women start using this, like millions of women across the United States using this for cosmetic purposes, and they're saying, okay, my age spots went away, I had this problem with my skin over here, there was a wrinkle and it got greatly reduced, and psoriasis, dry skin, cracking skin, cellulite, whatever, and yes, I feel like I have more energy and more balance and I could get more done. And a lot of people are saying that, fine. And then maybe you can put those testimonies out there. Maybe not so much, my diabetes went away, or my heart murmur went away, or whatever. But the thing is, if millions of people are using this, the word is going to get out that it's going to have, in other words, the FDA and the criminal pharmaceutical industry is not going to be able to stop the fact that, it's doing medical benefits. And my opinion is, I think the doctors, the people that work for the government, the pharmaceutical tycoons and stuff, they need to be the absolute last people to use this thing. That's my opinion. If they think it's snake oil, don't use it. Please don't use it even after we prove it's not snake oil. You should be disallowed from using it. And I think anybody from the freaking government, I really am anti-freaking government to the max, man. I don't like any of them. Period. They're ridiculous. So, but, honestly, I'm finding out this thing has got more power than I thought. The other thing I think is a lot of benefit, especially right now with all this crazy virus scare they got going around right there, because I don't know if this is going to work for a virus or anything. It might not. It works to strengthen your body, but I don't know what it would do against a virus. But I'll tell you this, the virus that's going around in China that's killing tens of thousands of people and are scared of what's going to happen. Well, the Parazapper, the one I'm using right now is the Uzi 3C. And, it's only been deemed to work in water. It's like it can't be, per the FDA, you can't talk about it being used in the body and stuff, but the body is mostly water. I mean, the CIA calls us wetware for a reason, right? We're 90% water. Criminal. Well, I don't want to knock the CIA. The CIA, let me put it to you this way. You hear all this bad stuff. There's it's not the official agency that's doing this stuff. It's like big money paying groups within the agency to do stuff independently, not authorized by Congress. That's how that stuff works. But, that's really how it is. You got to watch, you split what part of it is good and what part of it is bad, So, there is bad parts, but not officially bad parts. But the thing is, if it works on water, and your body's mostly water, fine, it's going to work, it's going to help, it's got to have to help. Now, if you look at, I think it's some, I forgot which statistics, where the statistics came from recently, but just recently, they say 1 out of 4 deaths in the world are caused by sepsis, which is blood infection. Now, if you're running that power zapper on a contact mode for 15, 20 hours a day, life-threatening situation, you don't have medicines and stuff, and a lot of times these medicines don't work for things that are certain blood infections. The power zapper works for freaking anything. So does intravenous vitamin C, but the problem is, you ain't going to be able to get intravenous vitamin C. You will be able to get a power zapper. So what I'm thinking is, between this HHO setup, and I'm using a Chinese welder now, I'm still going to keep this around because this is so simple. Only thing, I could just hook up the power supply, which I got right there in that brown box, or a battery charger, or a solar panel, and just make this thing work. Like, there's nothing to it. There's no cooling fans, there's no switches, nothing. Just hook it up here, hook it up there, and you go. 12 volts. I'm keeping this thing around for that reason. This thing's like the fail-safe Mad Max freaking HHO unit, for crying out loud. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm using the Chinese welder right now, but right now, between the most cost-effective things I got right now is the power zapper. I would say, if you don't have the money, don't get, they cost money. The 6-pack works fine. But when you're talking positive offset plus pedestal offset, you want to go with the My 3 or the Uzi 3. The Uzi 3 is the cheaper of the two, and it works just as good as, as far as pedestal offset goes, Doesn't have as many frequencies, but it's plenty adequate enough. I use that every day. But between that and this, those are the two most cost-effective things I got. The HHO unit with the little, I'm using the power, the Chinese welder plus the power zapper. Yeah, I use the spooky scaler every day, every night, along at the same time as I'm using the power zapper overnight. I'm using the spooky scaler with the molecular scaler. It's got Chinese herbs on it, essential oils, thieves oils, and everything. All that stuff is going through me. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to need all this energy because I got so many freaking projects going on. I might even have to put an engine in this thing here. It might have a spun bearing. I might be able to fix it, but how long could that last? So it might need a whole engine. That's not going to be fun doing that. I'm working on the trailer for this thing, revamping that. I'm working on the cannon. I got so many other mini projects going on. It's ridiculous. And there's other stuff I got to do to this thing. Not a lot, but some other stuff. I'm going to need the energy of like 3 people. And I'm like a senior citizen, quite really, but I do have way better energy than anybody in my age group. I can tell you that right now. That's a fact. But I'm going to need really good energy for a 25-year-old for that age group to get all this stuff done. This is why I'm doing all this health stuff. It's productivity. And of course, YouTube already demonetized me, and I'm pissed off at that crap. And they're not going to be my friends in the future, even if they turn the money back on. They better turn it on in spades, and then I'll be their friend. But I don't think they are. So if you want to drop a dime in the PayPal, it's only on BitChute. I'm not going to do any kind of freaking PayPal or Patreon on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I want people to look at BitChute more. That's why my PayPal is only on there. I'm not doing Patreon. I try to get on that, and it's like, I couldn't even get on Patreon. It's like, what the hell is this crap? So, and the only reason I'm asking to do this is because I could do accounting. Now, there's a benefit to me not doing the accounting because I would have never found out about this stuff. This HHO and the spooky scaler and the molecular spooky scaler and the power zapper. Right now, I'm thinking if I was doing accounting, yeah, I'd have a lot more money, but maybe I wouldn't live as long. Maybe what I'm doing right now, what I discovered, is going to make me live good 30 years more in great health. Or maybe I'm going to go backwards in age, which is another thing this HHO has been allegedly doing. Oh, I want to mention about that, the age reversal with the HHO. I think there's a point of diminishing returns. I'm taking a guess. I know I looked at George Wiseman's videos. He's figuring like he went back 5 years, every year he was breathing lots of the HHO gas and drinking the electrified water, the HHO water. He figured he went back biologically 5 years. So over 3 years, he went back 15 years. In an earlier video, he said he felt like he went back 1 year for every month he was breathing the gas. I suspect that the first year you get on doing a lot of this HHO, breathing the gas and drinking the electrified HHO water, that's where you're going to get the most results. You're going to get more results the second year. But there's going to be a point of I think there's going to be a point of diminishing returns. I mean, maybe after 5 years, maybe you're not going to be going backwards in age, or maybe it's going to stop you from going forward in age biologically. I don't know. I mean, but then again, who the hell knows? If this thing freaking turns a 90, like in other words, if I'm senior citizen in mid-60s now or some crap, 65, and by the time I'm 75, I'm like 32. Exactly. I don't even look old. The thing is, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't even think I'm 50. But if I'm 75 and I'm looking like I'm 32, and I'm actually looking young for 32, I want to say this is why I don't want to do accounting too much, because what else am I going to discover? Maybe I want to discover a way to freaking knock out these drones that David Goldberg, whatever he's talking about, that are going to come after the Patriots and stuff. Maybe I want to figure that out. Right now, I'm going to tell you what else I'm doing. I've been working on that Confederate-Heritage Net site, putting up a lot of PDFs up on there. I'm constantly working on stuff online to get the Confederate Heritage, not just Heritage. Oh, they hate that flag. You know why they hate it? The money hates it? Because it try to break away from the money. That's why they're going to lie about it. And so I'm actually extremely busy on doing that stuff. I don't watch any sports or entertainment. I don't know what's going on with Hollywood. I shun all that crap. I'm really pretty hardcore and just getting the word out there on what the truth is. So that's why I really don't feel guilty about asking for. But I don't want people giving me a lot of money. I want to just if it's like $3 or something like that. But 150 people do that. That's a significant amount of money, And what I do with it, what I'll probably do is put up another domain, maybe. I did buy the domain Confederate-Heritage.com. I might buy the next domain I might buy is marrying another Confederate domain, put more information up there, and pay for get FTP access so I can do more with the websites. That's what I'll probably do with that kind of money. So, it's not going to freaking fluff. I got other money that I can do with the engine thing, not right now. That's going to be a video and a half, because I'm probably going to have to put bearings in this engine. We'll find out. And maybe I can do it. I fix it all up real good with the freaking car, the engine in the car for like $200. In that case, that's going to be an extremely useful video for people, and probably one of a kind. Anyway, over now.